one.
Hey, and welcome back to the Here for the Right Reasons podcast. I'm Willow,
I'm Maritza.
and I think we should just start by getting right on into it. So this week, Zach opening up, he was commenting that he couldn't be happier that Tayshia is handling the Bennett and Noah situation just right off the bat. And Ben, he hopes for everyone's sake that the stress leaves the house. I think
Yeah.
that it speaks volumes also to Tasha's character. She did handle this prior to the rose ceremony, and that it also said how serious she was also Ben's deal.
I know. I mean, I feel like she handled this whole drama a lot better than Claire handling her drama when that happened.
Seriously, Claire always just made everything so amped it up for no reason, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like she handled it like a pro.
Seriously. She handled it like, someone who's ready for marriage and ready to be mature about the situation. When she did, this is one thing that I will say, when she did take notice to the gift box, I honestly thought it would be a little bit more dramatic right off the bat than it did unravel, because she ended up pulling, Bennett aside first and just talking with him instead of straight up going through the box and pulling out the book like I thought she would be doing, which I was a little bummed we didn't have that super dramatic confrontation there.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what like the preview in the last episode, like that's what it was kind of like going towards. And then like I was expecting that. I was trying to be like all dramatic. She's gonna be like, oh, and all this, but like we kind of skipped over that part and just went to her talking to Bennett, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
Definitely. Everything is everything. Editing is everything, right? Then, yeah, I wanted to say one thing I did notice throughout this whole conversation was Bennett was getting very defensive and he was kind of grasping at straws. And for whatever reason, he thought it was a great idea to start deciding the in-depth layers of emotional intelligence to Tayshia. And she just looked so dead inside during this entire conversation.
Oh yeah, no, she looked completely done with him. She was like, why am I still listening to him? And I'm like, I'm just thinking the same way. I was like, this is the fifth time of me hearing Bennett talk about emotional intelligence. Like,
Literally. I was like, okay, you've expended this. Can we end it and go on to the next thing? He just felt very manipulative too. Okay, good.
which is
Glad you
like
saw
red
that.
flags. And like, I don't know if Tage sees red flags, which we will see at the end of the episode, but I don't want to get super into that. But I mean, I feel like I was kind of surprised about his like massive speech. And like it low key seemed like he did have a chance at the end of his little speech, like saying how like Noah's like not mature and stuff. And I like at one point I was like, okay, maybe she might choose Bennett, but then she like talked to Noah, and like I feel like off the bat, it seemed like she has a more of a connection with Noah than Bennett in
Hmm.
that conversation. I don't know why, but like
I
with like,
totally saw the same thing. Actually, interesting thing. My boyfriend, he watched this episode with me, and he's kind of been watching like here and there randomly a couple of scenes throughout the season. But he literally was commenting during this scene that Bennett is delusional compared to Noah, and he's crazy to think that Tayshia's even into him in the slightest.
it's just like I feel like it's just all like an illusion, kind of what Bennett portrays. Like it doesn't seem like he's ready at all to be married, to be a father. I'm sorry, but
I
I don't know.
absolutely agree. He just has this untouchable aspect that makes him come off really poor and feels really scripted.
Yeah. And like even Noah got emotional talking to Tasha. I don't know if you saw like him like low-key tearing up. And when he was talking to Tasha and he was like saying like, oh, I didn't want to get emotional, but like all the thing like he talks down to the guys, like the way he just
Yeah.
talks down to the guys, just like I don't want him to talk down like that to you. And like he has a
Yeah.
good point because like I feel like since the beginning, like Bennett seems like he's in this, I don't know, like he's a king around there, and then like everyone else is
Yeah,
like
like
his
he's
little pawns.
Lord Bennett and he's very condescending to the other guys. And I thought that was really good that she did bring that up because it's like, okay, that's a really serious, character quality. Do you want a husband who's condescending at all with anybody, even if it's not you.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And then we go from there, and she ends up talking to Noah again and giving Noah a rose. And then when Noah returns to the guys with the rose, Zach was absolutely shocked. But Brendan, he says, he likes Noah, but considering the time that they've all spent dealing with all of this drama, he's just glad it's over and he really wants Noah to be quiet, which I thought
Yeah.
was appropriate. There's definitely been a lot of time taken up by Noah lately.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like also like he didn't like I what Tasha did. So she sent Bennett home, obviously, and like Bennett was all like, "Oh, this is really happening." Blah, blah, blah. He left and was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna miss you." Okay, next
Oh my
thing.
God, it was so awkward to watch. It was like a high school
It was
breakup, the
so
way she was walking him
cringy.
out.
Oh my god. But like then she came back
Uncomfortable.
in and she didn't really give him the rose like at that moment. She was like, I'm still like processing, like I'm gonna wait till the rose ceremony. So like he went in like thinking, oh, I'm not gonna get the rose, even though we all knew he was gonna get the rose anyways. Like, why is she gonna keep him around? Like,
Seriously.
but like I love Brendan's comment. I was like, really, you're really pointing this out, like how it should be.
hmm Anyways, so then we've got our group, or what do we have after this point? The rose ceremony, right?
Yeah.
So I believe it was our starting out at the rose ceremony. Riley, he steals Tasha away first and gives a little happy 1 week anniversary moment to
I
her.
love that.
Surprised her with a little cake, and I feel it was very intimate and appropriate given she had had a rough few days, and I know she probably appreciated that sentiment.
Yeah, I feel like the rose ceremony went on like really well. Like she like again like the whole like 1 week anniversary and then like her conversations with like all of the other guys, like it just seemed like a lot calmer and like a lot more mature conversations. And I'm just like, okay, like this is like she's starting to finally realize, like, not to mention hometowns are next week. So like that's like on
Things
a
are
lot
getting
of the
serious right now.
exactly. Things are getting serious, and like that's like in a lot of the guys' mind, and especially Tasha. This entire episode, she's like, "Who
Yeah.
do I really want to meet their families?" And like that's what the conversations like around all these like with guys was mostly about.
I definitely feel like everybody in the show right now is kind of at a turning point where they're like, oh, the reality is setting in. We're at the end, and it happened really quickly because Tasha did come in the middle. They
Mhm.
haven't had the full, 12-week experience they usually get. It's kind of been condensed here, and they had a breakup in the middle of it. It's been an emotional whirlwind for all of them, and
Mhm.
she really needs to know where their heads are at this point in the process,
No,
especially
for
given
sure.
quarantine. Then we've got our what happens here? Then Jojo walks in, and can I just say this? I totally forgot she was here for a moment.
Oh my god, I was gonna say the same. I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, wait, JoJo is still in this. I was like, wait, where's Chris? Where is he?
I was like,
Hey.
what's going on here?
No, she
Oh
walked
my
in
god.
and I was like, I didn't know who she was. I thought it was like, oh, is this Claire they're bringing in? And then I was like, wait, oh, it's JoJo. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, crossover moment for a sec. I was like just confused. Anyways, and then Ed, he just seems exhausted. We saw him for like 2 seconds here, and that was it until the very end of the episode. We don't really see him at all this episode. But
No.
prior to this rose ceremony, he was just saying he was frustrated that he didn't really get much time, and he would be angry if he didn't get a rose because of Noah. But
And
he did get a rose.
no, he didn't.
He in this first ceremony he did he not? Or am
No,
I confused?
I think
Oh
at the
wait,
beginning.
you're right, he did.
I was just like,
Well,
no.
I just had a moment. Literally 3 lines down. Who went home? DeMar, Spencer, Ed.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah. So no, it's okay. It's a long night so far. It's
Dude,
okay.
so much happened in this episode.
But
Okay,
like, I
what caught me
confused
off
Ed with
guard was that
Blake.
little clip at the end that they threw in there. I was like, oh yeah, Ed's still here.
That's what I thought too. I mean, honestly, can we like quickly just talk about that little clip though? Because like, honestly, it's like kind of relevant to like that night of
Yeah,
how
especially
like
since he's kind of gone after that moment. I'm like, that was why it threw me off at the end. I was like, wait. we haven't seen Ed at all.
Yeah, and I was like, where is he?
Who
No, but
left?
like I love like the little facial thing. Like he was saying how like he has his whole skincare routine and then laughs and he's like, nah, I just get Botox. And I was like, the truth came
We
out.
love an honest guy, you know? Everyone has their
Exactly.
thing. You gotta look good somehow.
Exactly. And he was like proud of it. And I was like, okay, Ed, you're a character. We're definitely seeing him in Paradise. Like
Oh,
he's
Ed
such a
for sure.
character.
I mean, Spencer, he's also definitely going to pop up in Paradise. Don't feel bad for him. They
Hmm.
didn't have a connection, let's be honest.
Like it was just like a connection with lust. Like it wasn't really anything else flirtation. Like I saw that from the beginning since beginning. But like I felt so
Yeah.
sad for Damar because like when they said Damar was going home and he like at the moment they announced Noah was the last person to get the rose. Like the
Hmm.
moment they announced Noah, like Damar started like almost like crying. And I was like, "Hmm." I really liked him. Like out of all the guys left, like he was like the one that I thought was so genuine. Even though we didn't have much camera time with him, like I don't know, I just really liked
He'll
him.
probably pop up in Paradise too, and he'll be totally beloved, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not really surprised at the final seven that we have here. It's kind of what we were expecting.
Except Blake. I don't know why Blake is still in this. Why is
Yeah,
Blake
why
still
is Blake
here?
still here? I mean, he's obviously not gonna make it past into hometowns, that's for sure. There's no connection there.
No, no, not at all.
Um, no serious connection at least.
I mean, he does
And
have a one-on-one though, which we didn't see in this episode, but he's gonna get a one-on-one. So that might change something, but
that's true, but
I
I
don't
have
know.
a weird feeling that he's gonna go home on that one-on-one.
Me too. I feel the
Okay,
same
just
exact same way.
based on the fact that she already told, okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but she is telling people she's falling in love with them. Meanwhile, she's barely seen Blake at all. And yeah. So, and then we have our first little date here with, it was Brendan? Yeah. No,
Ben.
Ben. Ben. My notes are so disorganized. It's
It's
terrible.
fine.
Starting out this podcast, my notes were like bam, 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 bam. And now since then, I'm like not pausing the show as much and I'm just going, going, going. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
mess.
no, me too. I was like, also I was watching this episode last night at like 1 a.m. So I was like, half
Oh, I
awake, half
watched it
asleep.
literally 2 minutes ago. Like I finished it like like 20 minutes before this.
No. And then I was looking through my notes because I put them all on the same page. And I was like, at the beginning, I put like the ones from last episode and I was reading them while you were talking, and I was like, this ain't right. This is
Zero.
like this ain't right. No.
I know I typed my notes for the first time, so it's a different organization too, because I didn't have my
Um,
paper with me. Anyways,
oh my god.
so we have our first date with one-on-one with Ben, and Jojo comes zooming in on some weird scooter thing with a helmet, and I'm like, okay, this is just a really awkward entrance, and I feel like we're back to the low budget Claire season where Chris Harrison was the only host for all of the dates. Like, where
Yeah.
are our other hosts? What the heck?
No, it was funny. I was like, I felt like it would have been like, because she was so far away when she was coming in. I feel like that would have been still a very long transition. Thank God for editing, because we would just been like waiting for her to be like, okay, should we come in
I
yet?
literally
Or
like imagine them all like, yeah, and then she's like zzz, as she gets closer, gets a
yeah.
little louder, she's approaching, and then
Oh, yeah.
she parks it. Oh my lord.
Like,
Anyways, anyways,
but yeah, so she like sets up this whole like hunt for the oasis. They go on like a little like tour around the resort and like their own scooters.
yeah.
Um,
And then I was gonna say we find Ben taking his pants off one more time. Can't get enough of it.
all I have to say, he has not skipped leg day, and I'm happy for that sight. And so is
That's for
Tasia.
sure. That's for sure. There was also this one pinata aspect of this hidden secret date, which I thought was funny because within the pinata there were several to choose from. One of the clues for the date would be hidden, and of course, with their luck, it's the last one that they choose to hit. And I noticed, why the heck did they decide to just cheat and take off their blindfolds halfway through? Were they just like, this is too hard hitting a pinata with blindfolds on? Like they just ripped them off.
I know. I mean,
Anyway,
at the end, I feel like Ben was like done with it. He didn't even hit it. He just like took it down, ripped it open, and was like, "Oh, look at that!"
oh, look it. Yeah, you can tell these guys are just so over these dates. It's like their motivation has just been crashing.
Yeah.
But then Tasha, she reveals that she's still not really sure about giving him a rose because, he really does need to open up more, which leads us into our dinner portion of the date.
Yeah, and I feel like that conversation was like really emotional and like really something that Tasha really needed to hear, and like really gave another like look at who Ben really is. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Tasha kept like wanting more from Ben, even though he literally told her like his like eating disorders when he was growing up, which I was like, that's not enough for you. I don't know what is. But she was like, he's too
Seriously.
perfect. And that's when he talks about how his two failed suicide attempts in 2018 and 2019. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. He said that he didn't want to be here anymore and he didn't want to burden people with his problems. But for him, luckily, his suicide attempts didn't work. And he said that really the only thing that got him through it was his sister, which, is the same person who just sounds like a superwoman who also got him through his eating disorder. But he did reveal that she doesn't currently know about those failed suicide attempts. So I'm sure there's a lot of serious conversations that had been going on in their household now leading up to this premiere tonight. And I really just kind of, wish the best for their relationship right there. Because
Yeah,
that'll definitely be interesting having something like that big come out about your private life on national television before even really telling
exactly.
your close family members. That's got to be
Yeah.
hard.
I feel like that would be just like, I'm gonna be very curious of how hometowns go for him, and like how Tasha will communicate with his family, like after knowing all of this personal stuff that not even they know.
Are we going to have his sister on the show? I feel like we
Oh,
need to.
yeah. No,
I
yeah,
feel
for
like we
sure.
need to. I feel like she's more important at this point than even meeting his parents,
No,
you
for
know?
sure.
And then we had our first performance date since all of this quarantine. And, it was this guy named Adam Hambert. I don't even know who he is, but
No,
what's
I
a
don't know
big
what it is.
shocker?
But like, don't forget Claire's part of the season. I think it was Claire's part of the season. Yeah, I think so. It's when they danced. Yeah, when they got engaged, I think. She danced to
Oh, that's
these two
right.
guys from
Oh, no, it was from Listen to Your Heart. It
Listen
was,
to Her. That's one.
yeah, it was,
Chris and something. It's one of
yes.
the guy's name's Chris, but I don't know what the girl's name is.
Oh, Chris and Brie, because her name's
There you go.
like cheese. That's how I remember.
Yes.
So then from here we cut back to the guys and we see that Brendan, Zach, Ivan, Noah, Riley all get the group date. And the group date is titled The Truth Is That I'm Falling in Love, emphasizing truth. So the guys have to take a lie detector test.
Basically.
And this again was hosted solely by JoJo.
Well, it's a
Which,
quick little thing though. You like we cut to that date, right? And like is you just know it's so fake when you see the screen and just like a random like heartbeat line supposedly. That's they literally took that video off of YouTube and were like, let's go and do this right now.
yeah, literally, I was like, we've seen this done time and time again. And even Riley does say at one point, right before he goes, where he goes, this is just so inaccurate of a test. Like, can we not, and he's an attorney. He knows that stuff can be inaccurate and can
Yeah.
totally have skewed results. And also partially that's probably what contributed to him being so nervous going into it. But he does have obviously some things he did lie about.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, starting out, we begin with Tasha. Baseline here. She reveals she truly is falling in love and falling in love with more than one person. She doesn't regret sending anyone home, which seems like a lie with what goes on later with Bennett.
I
But
think it did go as a like either a lie or like inconclusive. I don't think
oh,
it was like true when she said that.
okay. Actually, I didn't catch that. And then does and then what's it called? Oh yeah, Tasha says that she thinks that the husband that she's going to marry is in the group of men left. Then we skip to Ivan.
Oh my God. Ivan's question, I just like if he's ever been aroused around Tasha. And I feel like, come on, these are guys. Like, I feel like all of them have. Like, come on.
As long as if they're still here, there's no way they haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be honest here. If you're gonna marry somebody, there's got to be some ounce of sexual attraction there, and clearly they all have it.
So obviously he said yes. And
Yeah,
then from there, I think after that was Noah or Brendan.
I believe after Ivan was Noah.
Noah. Yeah. So it
Um,
reveals he misses his stash.
and he also revealed he lied about someone faking an orgasm with him.
Very, very important things that Tasha needs to know.
Seriously. Um, then we go to Brendan, and he says he hopes he's ready to propose, which I will say, a smart way of wording it. Because it shows you are interested, but there is still that's a large commitment, and he was previously married, so he is worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel
then
like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little conspiracy theory I'm about to put out
okay.
there, but like he's might be in the top 2, Brendan, and I think Tasha might choose Brendan, but then I think Brendan's gonna be like, I'm not ready for marriage, and he might leave. And that's why she's left crying in all the previews that about the last day, that she's left crying at like the altar, the last rose ceremony.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I don't want to put that out there because I love Brendan, but like when he said that, I was like,
I don't know, but then again, too, I still can't get over the fact that she already told Zach she's falling in love with him. And I'm like, are we gonna have literally, here's a weird thing, JoJo's the host, right? What happened to JoJo when she was on Ben Higgins' season? He told her that he was falling in love with her, and he also told another girl he was falling in love with her, and he ended up picking the other girl, and so JoJo became the Bachelorette, and everyone was so sad about it. I'm worried here is Tasha telling somebody that she's falling in love with them, and then not going to pick them in the end, because that would be terrible. And just think of Zach. Oh my God.
No, yeah, no, for sure. Especially like how all these guys have revealed so much of like their deep, deep history. Like there's so much of their personal life that some of them didn't even want to tell anyone like on public TV. Like maybe
Tasha has gotten like a lot out of these guys.
Exactly. So it's just like imagine like not picking them in the end. It's just like how the guy might feel like, oh, I just exposed all of my deepest, darkest secrets.
Just remember
to this
how
woman.
Jason felt.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like I don't want to see that kind of heartbreak, but
yeah,
probably bound to be happen.
Yeah. So Zach, he reveals he has cheated on someone in the little lying thing, which is so silly. Tasha says she's disappointed, and come on, this was just played up for the show, but you come to find out later that, he had a girlfriend and he cheated on her by French kissing this other girl at a bowling alley when he was in 6th grade. Yes, Bolorama, when he was in 6th grade. So does it really count? Has he cheated since? No.
But like, yeah, it was a good laugh, but like it was so dramatic how they put Tasha saying like, this is like, it's a deal breaker. Like, I don't know if I can like see him the same way. Like everything, I always uncover something new about Zach. Like I thought, oh, Zach, like he really cheat like multiple times, but then it was a 6th grade little fling, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's just for the drama. It's so ridiculous. Then we go to Riley, which was very interesting.
So the first question is that they ask him what's his name, and he was like Devon Riley. I don't know what his last name is, but I know it's Devon Riley. And then it came out negative that was a lie. And then he got nervous, and then he answered all the other questions correct, which I don't know. Well, do you remember any of the other questions?
He says that he's ready to fall in love with her. He says that he doesn't know if he's ready for her to meet his family, but he does want her to. It's just an aspect of, is he ready for her to? And he does say that he's nervous about tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, it like rightfully so. Like he started crying. Like
Totally.
with
Well, it was because of his inner turmoil he was feeling over the fact that he did have kind of lie on a couple of his questions, especially about his name, which, he later revealed that he has a lot of a complicated family dynamic, and that was why he was crying. And his dynamic is rocky because he used to be named Wayne, which is his name after his dad. But there was a serious falling out, and this I got a little bit confused on, just the way it came across. It was that his dad took stuff he shouldn't have from his mom, right? He served time for it, and his dad was had sole custody of him and his siblings at the time. And so it was a really big mess because he had to go with his mom, and there was this whole transfer while his dad was in prison, right?
yeah, he was in prison.
Yeah, his dad
Oh,
served
okay,
time.
okay. Probably didn't get that part. I don't know. That conversation kind of was confused me a little because like
Okay, yeah, it came
it
off a little
went
weird.
yeah, like it went from like I understood probably like his like he took stuff from his mom, but I didn't think like I thought it was like I thought it was like emotionally. I didn't think it was like actual stuff. So okay, that makes a
I
lot
know,
more
yeah,
sense
it said
then.
I wrote down here that dad took stuff he shouldn't have and served time.
Yeah, okay. Probably that makes some more
So,
sense.
I don't so clearly there was some confusion here with what it
Yeah.
was, but yeah, that was a very interesting story. And then from there, basically he said that he decided he wanted to be a better man and start over by changing his name, and his mom was in the courtroom with him when he did it. It was kind of like a rebirth for him, which I thought was pretty beautiful.
I thought so too. And like the fact that like I just love Riley, how soft spoken, how like humble, how he just presents himself. Like
Seriously.
he and like how he peeled that layer off and he kind of opened up because we haven't seen Riley open up at all. So when he
Hmm.
opened up like the cetacean, I was like, wow, this is an amazing, beautiful man. Like
Yeah, literally. And I mean, it just shows that, we as people, we can have rough past, but we can still become better people, and our past don't define us. And then, Tasha at the end of the date, she thanks the guys for opening up, but she pulls a Claire move where she doesn't give out a rose because she does decide that she needs more time to figure out who to give it to. But unlike how they would react when Claire would pull this move, the guys said that they respected the move and they understood why and where she was
which I
coming
thought was
from.
so great because I was like, I remember like in Claire's part of the season, like everybody would be like throwing out fits and like spreading chaos and be like, this is so unfair. Like, what is this? But like they all respect Tasha, which is like something that Claire lacked. She lacked that respect from the guys.
Totally. Absolutely. And then, oh, I think I accidentally skipped too far. Gonna have to cut this down a little bit right here.
No, but well, what's called? So the group date's over, right? We go to Tasha going to her room, and then
Oh
we hear
my,
someone say hello. And okay. Before we say anything else, before we think so, I thought it was JPJ. I heard hello, and I was like, "Yo, JPJ is gonna come back. This is what I was
that would have
waiting for."
been legendary. He would have been coming
Exactly,
back, proving he was a grown ass man.
exactly. And no, we had Bennett.
We have Bennett. And can I just say, Logan at this point mentioned that she looks terrified. And it felt like a moment when you have like a creepy ex who you're just trying to get rid of. And like you keep, trying to be nice with them and like not trying to hurt their feelings, but they're really just not getting it. Um, and did you notice that when Bennett shows up, Tasha literally got hit by the gate? Like the gate, like
Yeah. I know.
it
She was
smacked
she was
into
like,
her.
oh, and it was like, whoop. And I'm like,
Literally. She says
I
it's
think
good to see him, but I don't know.
no one was expecting him to be there. I mean, other than the producers, obviously, but
Yeah.
wait, here's what I don't get. So he went back to his hotel or home, but shouldn't he be quarantined to go back to the resort?
I don't think he left the resort. I feel like
Okay.
here's what probably happened. They probably said, okay, Bennett, you need to go back and pack up your stuff. Because I don't think he was expecting to leave. I don't know. But they probably said, and then he probably also was like, I want to win her back. And so what probably happened was he spoke with his producers and they're like, okay, well, we'll give you a chance to like go back and try to win her back because she seems still on the fence with you. And obviously, Bennett pulls out all of his manipulation tactics, it felt like, and goes on, repeating the same things he said earlier about how
Yeah.
he'd spent all day mulling everything over in his head that's happened. You know, he continues to repeat himself, apologizing for questioning her integrity. He says that their parting was so surreal, and he
But then he
realized
pulls out the 3 important words.
in that moment, yeah, he realized he loved her.
Well, not past tense, because I think he still does. He's like obsessed with this woman.
Oh my God, yeah, that's true. He literally says, I love you. And Tasha is just like literally the definition of speechless. I don't think anyone could even act that speechless if they tried to.
Like, no, she was like, oh, where did this come from? Like, she knew she had feelings for him, but she was like, is this love? Like, and like the thing is, God, Tasha, please put that smart. I know you're so smart. I know you can realize that he's manipulative, that he doesn't really mean these things. But she was like that's what I've been wanting. I've been wanting people to show up. We really should have named this show the Showing Up podcast, honestly. But like she's like,
Showing up podcast.
but like she was like, I want people to show up, and that's what he did. And then I've been really wanting this whole time for someone to say that they love me and they truly love me, and that's what he did. And it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, you're really believing in this crap right now?
I'm like, you want him to show up, but you don't want him to show up all the time. Like, you don't want to show up when you like, you know, go to the kitchen for your midnight snack at 12 a.m. and you close the fridge door and he's standing right there. You don't want him to that kind of showing
The
up.
fridge door also slams.
Yeah, and the fridge door, and it's like a giant refrigerator door and his like million chateaus because he has a walk-in fridge, but still.
Like, I mean, she like has him staring at him at fridge number 2 because they have like 10 fridges probably in his house. Jeez, I want that lifestyle.
Hey, you scared me, and she turns around and you can see his reflection from the pantry. You can't get away from him. He doesn't stop showing up for you.
Okay, but like low key, like I feel like if he does give him, like, I don't want him to give him a chance. Like, I don't like Bennett at all anymore. But like if he does, I really want to meet his parents. Like, I really want to meet all his houses. I want to see them go to the chateau. I want him to go meet. I want to see if his parents are like talk and act just like him. Because if they do, I'm gonna be like,
well, remember he said that he grew up poor. So like, what are his parents actually gonna be like? Or are they? I feel like honestly, his parents are like weirdly old and bougie. You know.
Yeah, Trump.
Trump. Anyways, she also Bennett says that he's being really serious about her and that he's never had emotions about this about any girl ever before. And I'm like, okay, Joe from Netflix TV show You.
Whoa, wait. But actually though,
Dude, Bennett is creepy. He is going to kill her. What the heck? Someone saved Tisha from Bennett. Did you see that smile at the end when she dodges his kiss?
she was like, nice try, and he was just like smug. He's like, and I'm like,
She looked
ugh.
so uncomfortable. I'm like, someone save her.
Like I feel like I just see her if she ends up being with him, which God knock on wood, she doesn't, but like if she does, I can just imagine putting her in like the U cage with like the glass little thing, maybe put a little bookcase in there on emotional intelligence books.
And like give her little like a microphone so she can Zoom record her little Bachelor podcast she does every week still. My God. Dude, but here's the thing. His manipulation tactics seem to work because now Tayshia says she's confused.
And you know how confused? She ends up having him in the next rose ceremony.
Yeah. So next week, it seems Bennett is back and the guys are shocked.
Not happy. Most of them are like, what? Why are we backtracking over here?
Yeah. And then we've also got our Men Tell All happening next week. So we're probably going to give you a special little double episode recap. One for Men Tell All, one for regular episode.
Yeah. Makes
good.
sense.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I just I was trying to read this that I'm not speaking anymore.
Girl, I missed it. It's late. We recorded this really late.
Yeah, later than usual. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's bound to happen. What's bound to happen at hometowns if anything changes. If who she ends up leaving because of hometowns, if there's any family changes. A lot of these guys are crying in these previews. So I'm excited.
We gotta do a quick little talk though about who we think is actually gonna go, because let's be honest here, we have so many front runners, so many. I'm like, okay, we got Brendan, we got Ben, we got Zach, we got
Riley, right? Possibly.
Oh my God, Riley, we have Ivan still. Like that's 5 right there. If we can only have 4 go to hometowns, and I feel like we're already missing out on a couple guys we're just forgetting just because we're not thinking about them.
Honestly, I didn't even know. I forgot that only 4 people go to hometowns. So obviously, like Bennett out of here, please. Like she's out.
There's no room for you, Bennett.
No room. Not even in your million chateaus. There's no room for you on this show.
Bennett, Noah, good, and Noah too. Bye.
Yeah, and Blake, no one cares about Blake.
Like no one cares. Goodbye. Go back to Canada.
No, exactly. But but then we got like those like final 5. I feel like so in the obviously Ben's going to hometowns. He's already got the rose. Like he's the only one who's secure to get the rose. He already got it. I feel like Zach's obviously going to hometowns because they already told each other they're falling in love with each other. So like that's
seriously.
That's
so
not
now we
thing.
have 2 slots left. Brendan seems just obviously like such a contender.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like Brendan is like I feel like he's
Brendan was her night 1 date, and I think her first impression rose. There's no way he is not going to hometowns. Especially because women always trust their instinct in the very beginning. Like he's going. But then we have 1 slot left, and it's either Riley or Ivan.
And honestly, I feel it might be Ivan. Like
Riley hasn't had as much developed conversation with Tayshia.
Yeah, even though like that last conversation was amazing, like it's like you said, it hasn't been as developed as like the other ones. Even though like, yeah, I mean that's just how I feel. I feel like she has more of a stronger connection with Ivan too. Like you see it in her face and her feelings.
It's a little too late with Riley, and Ivan and Tayshia both really connect strongly on the whole biracial aspect, especially being like a biracial woman in Orange, California, or Orange County, California. And I think that was just something that they really got close to get over. And they also both have a very goofy humor, whereas I feel like Tayshia still secretly you can tell she's still got that intimidated aspect that we touched on a few weeks ago with Riley with like his
Yeah,
career. It's how it seems, at
exactly.
least, like.
I feel like her guard is like, you can just tell her guard is up around Riley, rather than like
Definitely.
how comfortable she feels and like acts around all the other guys.
Definitely. I agree. Yeah. There we go.
Well,
Final four. We got it. It's our predictions.
our predictions, if they, hopefully they're right. I feel like they will be right, but you know, we never know. But till next week, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will talk, chit chat, spill the tea on the next 2 episodes are about to be next week.
Yep. See you next time.
See you next time, y'all.